This bulletin is brought to you by Good Morning Pihalia. Enjoy the warmth and indulge in the deliciousness.
Good morning, good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Prasad Michael and you're watching KiniFlash. The High Court in Kuala Lumpur today dismissed the leave application on the judicial review application brought by 16 sacked Umno members against the Registrar of Societies. The review is to seek the ROS to squash its decision last month to allow Umno to extend its party elections until April 2019, to investigate the complaints made and to reply them, and also a dissolution of the party.
The court had decided what was argued yesterday on the application for leave for judicial review, and upon the consideration of all their submissions by both parties, the court read out a judgment, and in that judgment the court referred and did not deny the fact as to the existence of two very recent decisions of the federal court, which had very clearly stated that the provisions, any provisions of law enacted by the parliament cannot oust the jurisdiction or the judicial powers of the courts in Malaysia. And despite that, his lordship was of the opinion that since those decisions did not relate to political parties, and yet there is a section 18C which is specifically on political parties, and there are decisions earlier prior to that which validated the section 18C. So he was of the opinion that he's bound by section 18C, and he did not follow those very recent federal court decisions. In our opinion, that would appear to be in breach of the principle of stare decisis. I would go on the court to say the judge had decided to ignore the clear decisions of the federal court, which stated any provision, mana-mana peruntukan, doesn't matter with the Societies Act, a Kindergarten Act, or Universities Act, or Election Act even. It is all inclusive. We shall appeal. Our instructions are to appeal. But as it stands, the application for leave of the 16 has been dismissed as at today.
Lawyer Mohd Haniff Khatri also warned of the possibility that Umno may trigger a national crisis if its candidates contest in the 14th general election, should his clients appeal against the dismissal of their bid to dissolve Umno be allowed.
Does this mean Umno is in the clear then?
Well, for the time being, it would remain that the decision of the registrar and the decision of the Majlis Tinggi remains. But if the appeal is to be allowed and remitted back here, then the question which we would like to pose is the issue as to whether Umno would like to take the risk of fielding the candidates as a member of the coalition party of Barisan Nasional, and face the risk that if the appeal is allowed, then the possibility of a national crisis as to the validity of its candidates will arise then. But that's up to the wisdom of the Umno leadership to decide what they wish to do. Despite the decision today, because we have the right to appeal, advise the leadership of Umno to consider, in the interest of the nation, not to use the logo of Umno, albeit through Barisan Nasional, with regards to the candidates, so that we will avoid a possibility of extending the Umno crisis into a national crisis.
Would it be accurate then to say that the doubt still exists?
To me, yes, the law is clear. The law is clear that the Registrar of Societies should not have granted extension, or rather agreed to the application to extend the elections beyond the 18 months already extended under clause 10.16. There is no power, there's no jurisdiction. This court today did not decide that. The court did not go into the merits because it seems, according to the court, the society, Umno, had a right to hide behind section 18C.
News portal Malaysiakini has filed a judicial review application to challenge the constitutionality of the recently passed Anti-Fake News Act 2018. Malaysiakini is the first to file the challenge against the controversial law.
This application is to strike down the Anti-Fake News Act of 2018 as being unconstitutional, and in breach of the provisions of the federal constitution. It is. We are saying in this application that the definition of false news is so wide that it poses a danger to the ordinary public, because anything that you say which is mistaken is now a criminal act.
The Constitution put freedom of speech as an integral part of the Constitution for a very important matter. Without the public's right to know and be informed, we can't talk about an active democracy. So I think any law which regulates the media and puts curbs has to recognize this fundamental need for freedom of speech in our country today in order for democracy to flourish. We believe that the best way, if you want to look at fake news, the best way to counter fake news is actually come out with the facts. So to get rid of, say, the Official Secrets Act and get rid of other acts that actually curb freedom of expression. And through that, then more information will become available in the public sphere, and that that way, that's the best way to actually negate what the government is calling fake news. As the case proceeds, other media are happy to join, or other organizations who are interested in human rights and constitutional freedoms, such as the Bar Council or Suhakam, always welcome to come on board and give support. But we really feel that we have to go, it's somewhat urgent to get this law revoked.
The portal is seeking leave for a declaration that the Anti-Fake News Act 2018 is a violation of Article 5 and Article 10, read together with Article 8, and therefore unconstitutional and should be declared null and void. Article 5 concerns the liberty of a person, while Article 10 concerns freedom of speech. Malaysiakini, through its company Amkini.com Sendirian Berhad, named the Home Ministry and the Malaysian government as respondents in the case filed at the Kuala Lumpur High Court. Caretaker Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak recently said he's confident there will be no Malay tsunami against BN in the 14th general election. But according to political analyst Wong Chin Huat, Najib is the reason he thinks a Malay tsunami could potentially happen.
So you ask me whether there is a Malay tsunami, I say yes. And who do I read? Not from Merdeka Center or invoke from anyone else, but from Najib. Why is it from Najib? Because Najib actually revealed his belief through his action. The simplest thing that I could tell was on the Thursday before dissolutions of Parliament, when he deregistered through the ROS Bersatu. Now this is very interesting, because if Malay tsunami is really not happening, why would you want to deregister Bersatu? You know why is it good to keep Bersatu in the field and smash it? Because then you can tell everyone they failed. Now, Mahathir did not deregister Tengku Razali Semangat 46 in 1990 or Anwar Keadilan in 1999 because he preferred to smash it. Malay politics is very, it's all about this machismo, chipi, jantan, and so on. So to crash your enemy straight right at their face is what your pendeka would do, right? Your pahlawan would do. To deny that your opponent, even a party symbol, is basically to tell that you're not a pendeka, but you're a pengecut. Now, if you are sure of victory, why would you want to take the chance to be slammed, to be interpreted as a pengecut, as a coward? You don't. The only reason to explain that is Najib actually believed in Malay tsunami. And what would be his source? His source would be all the police, military, and your Jabatan Penerangan, your parties, informants. They are intelligence agents. So, do I trust him? I trust him. So, I Jaya pada Najib. So that's the second order. But as I say, this doesn't mean that it would definitely happen, because it all depends on turnout. And the turnout could be low, even on the non-Malay side. If it's not strong enough, anytime you could be frustrated. So at the end of the day, it's turnout. So the safe way to predict is to say a turnout is high as 85%, then I think Mahathir has a good chance, upper hand. But if the turnout is low at 70%, Najib can smile all his way to the bank, literally.
A study by the Merdeka Center has found that although there is a swing of Malay support towards Pakatan Harapan in certain states, it will not be sufficient to put the opposition coalition in power.
And just now you mentioned that there is something happening, but it's not clear where it is swinging to. So are you saying that in states like Johor there is a swing, but it's not enough? The tsunami is not big enough?
Yeah. Yeah, so what we have seen is that yes, there is a swing compared to 2013 levels of support, but the swing that is going away from Barisan to the opposition seems to be benefiting opposition in very different ways. So what we have found is that it is only in Selangor that the opposition has actually crossed the threshold to be able to capture enough votes to secure the state government, particularly amongst the Malay voters. In the other states, we noticed that in Johor there is a swing. At this moment, it has not reached the threshold. Likewise in Kedah as well, it's not reached the threshold. But in other places, the swing is actually in favour of Barisan in Terengganu and in Kelantan. So that might help Barisan strengthen their position in Terengganu and potentially take Kelantan. Yeah. In other states, the swing is present, but because of the split nature of the opposition votes, it is not likely to be material enough to shift the outcome.
So as of right now, I mean, based on the data that you have told right now, you're predicting that BN will take Kelantan and won't lose any other states, and the opposition will maintain Penang and Selangor?
Yeah, and also in terms of parliamentary seats, we think that BN is poised to keep the current status quo, and it has potential to add a few more seats. The state that constitutes a kind of potential for opposition to maybe continue to deny Barisan two-thirds majority or even make further additional gains is the state like Sabah, for example.
PKR Deputy President Azman Ali has slammed political parties that use religious and racial slogans but have done close to nothing for the people.
Saya buat. Saya tak payahlah slogan-slogan Islam ni tak payah. Tu geramlah dulu. Sabarlah ni. Kita tak payah slogan, yang penting amal. Yang penting tindakan. Ini slogan apa? Hidup Melayu. Melayu mana hidup? Hidup ketuhanan Melayu. Oh, keris. Songkok dia 8 inci. Itulah satu-satunya Melayu dalam dunia, tuan-tuan. Buat apa slogan-slogan ni? Lebih baik kita duduk dan diam, buat kerja. Rakyat beri sokongan untuk apa? Untuk buat kerja. Yang ini saya buat kerja, Alhamdulillah. Jadi Najib saya nak jawab, tak bankrupt. Tetapi yang saya marah ini, tuan-tuan, ini saya nak beritahu orang Gombak. Tolong dengar malam ini, tuan-tuan. Kalau ada ahli UMNO di belakang, tolong datang ke depan. Kalau beranilah. Tak apa, kalau tak mau datang ke depan pun, sekurang-kurangnya dah. Itu pun saya dah hargai. Bila dengar, balik beristighfar, tinggalkanlah zaman jahiliah UMNO dan Barisan Nasional.
And that is all from me today. It's nomination day tomorrow. Follow KiniTV on Facebook and head to our YouTube page for the latest news. Also, don't forget to share this video. I'm Michael. Thank you for watching.
Malaysia's first multi-grains brand. The champion goes to Good Morning.